In today's day and age, where would we be without our car? And when our car's in need of maintenance, we expect repairs to be completed close to home, within a reasonable time and at reasonable costs. Especially when we own a car made by a well-known brand like Ford. It all sounds logical from a car owner's point of view. But did you know that one single car consists of over 7,000 separate parts? And because of the fierce competition between car brands, manufacturers need to launch new or updated models more often than ever before. Models consisting of slightly different spare parts than their predecessors.
Like the Fiesta, the C-Max, the Grand C-Max, the Mondeos, the S-Max, the Galaxy, the Transits.
And all of these models are sold all over Europe, including Eastern Europe, where the number of sold cars grew rapidly the last decade. More cars, as you now know, equals more parts to go around. Due to these developments, the number of different spare parts needed by dealers is increasing every day.
And therefore, we have about 175,000 finish codes or material articles here stored.
Delivering on-the-spot service, a massive growth of different spare parts being in circulation, and prices constantly under pressure. To Ford, these were three good reasons to look for ways to optimize their spare parts supply chain, keeping sustainability and ecological values in the back of their minds. But this counts only for 20% of this logistics puzzle. At the beginning of the new millennium, Ford had simultaneously added Mazda, Land Rover, Volvo, and Jaguar to its portfolio. All of these brands came with their own supply chain for inbound and outbound shipments, totally different from the existing network.
We had several systems per brand of Mazda, Jaguar, Land Rover, Volvo cars with all different service level requirements for the customers and the dealers. All material flows have not been synchronized and harmonized, and it was really a huge volume of data we had to sort out.
Some figures. There were the 175,000 different types of spare parts collected from 2,450 different suppliers. And all these parts had to be delivered at 2,900 dealers across Europe by 750,000 shipments each year, costing 200 million euros. The challenge for the Ford Customer Service Division: make a robust and cost-efficient logistics network, integrating the networks of the other brands into their supply chain, and at the same time improve the quality of service for dealers and consumers. The Network Integrator was born.
We brought an innovative idea into life. The concept is easy to design, to combine different material flows. The difficulty is in the detail to make that all happen, that all the participating companies with their service levels and their commitments to their customers are fully supported.
The targets of the Network Integrator team were ambitious. Within 10 years, the team had to achieve an on-time delivery performance of 98%, a 15% more efficient use of the supply chain network measured by CO2 reduction and transport volume cost reduction, combined transport sourcing leading to a cost reduction per market tender of 15%. This is where Penske Logistics stepped in. Penske is a leading logistics service provider dedicated to making supply chains work in the best possible way to optimally support the business of their customers, not only in the automotive industry, but in various types of organizations, no matter how complex the supply chain. The challenge Ford was facing and the expertise Ford and Penske could both bring to the table were a perfect match. Successful cooperation was the key to achieving a collaborative logistics solution.
We are quite happy to have them on board. And it's really a perfect match, their experience and our experience from the customer and the material flow side.
Our part is obviously that we have the distribution network in Europe with the 9 parts distribution center, the 22 markets, and our obligation to send on time to our customers spare parts in the right quality. Penske's role in that was to help us professionally to design that network. As a professional logistics provider, they brought a lot of expertise into that to design it right and to optimize it right.
What were the steps the Network Integrator team took? First of all, Ford analyzed the European map of the parts distribution centers. There were 3 source locations and 5 local distribution centers delivering to 18 brake bulk centers. And from these centers, all European dealers were supplied. After that, the delivery service levels were defined: the daily stock order, the weekly stock order, and the urgent order for next day delivery. The next step was to collect all data from all the brands. A thorough analysis showed many possibilities for synergies and improvement.
Penske has these tools like center of gravity tools to identify where are the best cross-dock locations in the inbound and outbound network. We have experience of a carrier database. We have the Ford shipments live in our system so that we have the right data set available for the logistics engineering.
Now, Ford was ready for the final step: the design of a joint logistics network across brands and integrating those into a joint tender that would enable the synergy effects of the individual supply chains while finding the best solution for a certain region. The Network Integrator team call these market tests.
A market test is in the Network Integrator terminology a transport tender or request for quote. We are tendering the outbound and inward logistics flow on the market for a specific country or geographic area.
One of the most important elements of these market tests is flexible sourcing, using multiple logistics scenarios for one geographical area.
That means in specific, where is the optimal cross-dock location? Should we move cargo from Cologne to the East European countries? We are a cross-dock center in Prague or in Budapest. So these different scenarios we design in order to be more cost-effective and also to improve the service to the dealers so that the spare parts are getting in time and fast to the end customers of Ford.
The results of these market tests were integrated in the ongoing process. By repeating these tests, the Network Integrator became a highly effective and continuously self-improving system.
The market tests are successful because we are running them for 10 years now. After every market test, it has been some improvements in place so that we come up to now to a high efficient process.
But more important, the Network Integrator proved that it was beneficial not only for Ford, but for all parties involved.
I think one of the things with the Network Integrator concept is it's evolved into a best-in-class solution, which is now a platform where other automotive brands can come on board for various regions where it makes sense. It's a scalable solution that can be successful for all parties involved.
Now, 10 years after the introduction of the Network Integrator, the results are stunning. Even though Volvo, Jaguar, Mazda, and Land Rover are no longer owned by the Ford Motor Company, some still choose to take part in certain market tests of the Network Integrator team. The project proved to be a solid concept, even in times of recession. The results exceeded the expectations.
In the financial metrics, to use economy of scale, we reduced in the last 4 years more than 20% our transportation cost. At the same time, we improved the service level to our customers with on-time delivery, as well as that we had also our participation on carbon footprint, because we are reducing about 10,000 tons CO2 emission every year, which translates to about 25 million tons kilometer transportation avoidance while optimizing the network.
Collaboration contributes greatly to this success. The professionals of Ford and Penske work side by side in a Network Integrator team. The team itself works closely with suppliers, dealers, brands, and other service providers.
I think the key things that are important with this are partnership and collaboration. There has to be transparency amongst the various partners dealing with each other, whether it be the automotive brands or us as a provider, and really the collaboration aspect and working together for a common goal.
Based on the success of the past 10 years, the Network Integrator team is now ready to bring the concept to the next level, inviting other brands, and maybe even take it beyond the automotive industry.
I would make the statement that it is not even restricted to automotive business. There could be also white and brown goods transported at the same truck going to a destination if the destination and the service level matches basically the network.
The benefits really become from a scale standpoint and leveraging volumes and looking at footprints and flows within the different regions so that there can be looking at really reducing the overall transportation footprint for logistics within Europe.
The network integrator concept. It reduced Ford's logistics costs while at the same time avoiding 25 million driven kilometers each and every year. And the customer, for whom it all started in the first place? The car is serviced on time at reasonable costs at their local dealer around the corner.